Ma'am, are you aware that the zoning officer and staff required the developer of Washington's Discovery to do extensive drainage improvements to Adams Willett Road?
Objection.
Basis?
Basis of the objection is that it asks for information that she couldn't possibly have. She can be asking what's in the record of this case, but she is not party or privy to what was said between the applicant and frankly, what has been put into evidence in this case and also in front of the Planning Commission indicates nothing having to do with what this agreement is other than some vague mentions of 10 drainage pipes.
May I respond to that, Your Honor?
Sure.
The subdivision approval, preliminary plan approval, contains in it requirements in connection with drainage improvements. The entire, as I understand it, the entire Planning Commission record is transmitted and made a part of the record of this board. So I'm just asking this witness whether she is aware that extensive drainage improvements were required of this developer in connection with Adams Willett Road.
I wouldn't know what your definition of extensive drainage improvements are.
So hang on 1 second. Let me make sure I address the objection. So, Mr. Wolfgang, you're a little far from the microphone. I want to make sure that you get closer as you're speaking.
Yes, sir.
If I could just get you to sort of restate your objection for the record.
Yeah. The objection may be seen a little more appropriately after my colleague's response, and that is he makes reference then to a preliminary subdivision plan. I mean, I have been through, there's obviously a great volume of documents in this case, and I'm getting older. I don't remember seeing anything that indicates anywhere any specificity of any kind other than some vague references to 10 drainage pipes. I saw a reference somewhere to sheet 2, which I made a bit of effort to see if I could find sheet 2 and have found no sheet 2. So what we now have is a reference to a document that A, has not been submitted into evidence in front of this board, and B, does not, as far as I know, exist in the record of the case that was presented to the board from the Planning Commission.
May I respond briefly to that, Your Honor?
Yeah.
The subdivision preliminary plan approval requires the drainage improvements, which council has in fact identified. This witness took the stand and testified as to flooding problems with Adams Willett Road. Apparently, the zoning officer and staff agree with that observation because, as a condition of the subdivision approval, they're requiring improvements to Adams Willett Road by this developer that would not otherwise be required, which are intended to alleviate the flooding. And my only purpose in asking the question was to see whether this witness believed that the improvements that this developer would make to Adams Willett Road in connection with drainage would have the effect of ameliorating a flooding condition not caused by this development that apparently will remain if this development doesn't proceed and these extensive drainage improvements are not made. And 10 pipes, I think that's a significant improvement to this apparently difficult situation.
All right. So through the dialogue here, we've heard the attorneys kind of characterize the potential impacts, I guess, we've heard Mr. Fisher characterize the impacts of that. I think that what I would maybe rephrase the question that was posed to the witness, if you'll allow me, is Can you are you comfortable sharing with us your impressions of how the situation may or may not get better based on what your awareness is of this plan that was approved by the Planning Commission?
The road won't get any wider.
Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Any other cross? All right. Any rebuttal?